At a high level, we talked about story. What is story? Why does it matter? Because a lot of people interpret that word differently. So what it is in terms of themed places, theme parks, museums, libraries, museums, archives, and the like. And then we also talked about what the experience economy is, what it means and what the value is of wrapping story and especially customer service around a product. So they're a little bit interrelated, so a little bit of overlap in those, but distinct topics. We did a workshop on best practices for collaboration because this is especially an interest with so many diverse skill sets have to partner together, computer scientists and construction workers. So understanding how to survive and thrive with collaborative environments. We did a workshop on that. We talked a bit about how do you think about reimagining the museum experience, because museums have so many obligations to different folks. Who's your funding source? What do grade school students expect or need? What do senior citizens need? What do millennials need? Why does somebody come to your place in the first place, and how can you surprise them with something else? How do you deal with everyone coming in with a phone on their hip and they might be more interested in that than your exhibit? So we did a really fun workshop on next gen museum experiences, and those students actually designed and gave us a tour. Like in a millisecond, they designed, packaged, and put together and presented a tour that was completely different than what you might expect a museum to do. So a lot of really good work came out of the week, and hopefully there'll be some follow-up with some teams. All of my favorite characters are the sidekicks. Guido, who's a little forklift in Cars, is by far my most favorite character because he's a hard worker and he's kind of silent and he saves the day. I love the little aliens in Toy Story, the little green guys. And so I think New Zealand would be kind of the sidekick, the little hard worker, makes everything happen and saves the day in the end. The people here are just amazing. I had so many things happening and every single one was really well organized. Everybody who came knew what they were coming for and were really engaged. So it was just a pleasure to spend time with individual people and the large groups. Really good energy. The candy was amazing. The chocolate milk was basically a candy bar in a jar. And I think the thing that most surprised me, because it was delicious, was pineapple lumps. Because it just sounds weird. And even the package calls it goofy, but they were a delight. I had a preconceived notion before I went to the website about what this museum must be. Then I spent a lot of time on the website and was delighted that it was way more than I presumed it would be. And then I went through and got several tours, and it's world class. Like, this museum holds up against any museum in the world. The quality of the exhibits, the depth of the exhibits, the interactivity, the amount of research that's really well presented. But I think what I like best across the board is the integration. There's nothing about any of the New Zealand stories that is other. It's all integrated. The people, the history, the culture, it's all very much part of the past, but also very much part of the living community right now. And the museum really demonstrates that well. The people are just so kind, it's polite, the weather is nice, the scenery is spectacular. It looks like something that, well, it is actually something in fantasy movies. It's just gorgeous, but it's nice that it has a variety of seasons. It's not just all, it looks tropical, but you've got cold and rain and wind and warm, so there's a lot of really nice boutique-y type places, sort of places that show a little bit of personality of the community. So yeah, no, I get it. When some of the original Hobbit movies came out, quite a few of my friends from California came out here to work on that and just never came home. New Zealand kidnapped them, seduced them. I thought when I came that my favorite topic would be story, because that's kind of my bread and butter, right, is we tell stories through physical spaces. The one that got really good response and very insightful questions in response was the experience economy. How do you wrap story around a product? So yeah, leaving, I think that one had the most impact, and I'll have the most follow-up on the idea of the experience economy.